think I've actually spoken today yet. Hi, my name is Savi, and I haven't filmed in my bedroom yet because I started doing this again when I was in Canada, and now I'm not. Okay, so I don't look like that anymore, and I don't live there anymore, but it has been 5 months, so yeah. I'm at my parents for 2 months, and then with my brother after that. Okay, back to the video. So today we're gonna talk about my accent, which for some reason has been like a special interest of mine. If you've spoken to me in real life, I probably have spoken to you about my accent, which might sound a bit annoying, but that's fine. A note, I am not making fun of these accents, except for the Finnish one. I'm just gonna be impersonating myself. Yeah, okay, let's just go. So, it all started when I was 7 years old and I went to school. Differing from the norm, we started learning English in first grade, which was like just these words like jam and honey and stuff. But my English teacher was speaking very much in a British accent, which is why, for some reason, I sometimes find the British vocabulary being the first that my mind goes to. For example, I can find myself saying torch instead of flashlight, which I don't think is even applicable for British people now. I sounded very much like this, which is the Finnish accent. In Finland, when people start to speak English, it is very much spoken in the same way that you would speak Finnish in. So it's very hard for me to do now. We call it the rally English, coming from the Formula 1 drivers, especially Kimi Räikkönen. What really comes to mind first is this rally driver who they were having a very weird drive, and when they were interviewing the driver, he said there was a stick that went right up in the ass of Timo, which very much encapsulates the Finnish accent. So I'm not gonna put you through any more of that, even though it is quite funny to a lot of native speakers, but it is genuinely hard for me to do right now. So we're going from the ages 7 to 13, I would say. I'm going through lots of English-speaking media, and my parents speak a lot of English in their line of work. And my sister went off to Ireland for an exchange year. When she came back, her accent molded mine a bit, which is why I say Ireland, and I genuinely don't know another way to say it, like Ireland. Ireland is very Irish. Fast forward to when I was 13, my family moved to the States to live in California, where I developed a very California girl accent, and like I didn't know about I didn't know English when I got there, which caused my friends to laugh a lot. I don't know, just a Californian accent, I would say, like the typical like valley girl, a bit maybe. And then I moved back to Finland and I discovered YouTube, and I started watching a lot of these like British YouTubers, mainly Dan and Phil and Dodie, I would say. And I got embarrassed by my American accent, and I started to learn I started to try and learn how to do the British accent. I could say it was a very bad British accent, and I don't know if I could do it now, which like I can't really do a British accent without it like having different kind of connotations and stuff. There's still a bit of British in my accent for some reason. But then like stuff happened in the middle, and I didn't speak that much English, except for like the rally English with my friends in high school, and I developed a bit of a Finnish accent, but like just a tiny smidge. For a lot of people who don't speak English as their first language, having a native accent is considered it like embarrassing for some reason. It seems like if you have a native accent, it's not like you speak English very well, even though that does not mean anything, you know. Fast forward again, and then I moved to Canada, and I spoke a lot with my cousin who is from the States, and like a lot of the Canadian people, and my accent got a lot more North American, and I started speaking a lot faster because I didn't have to like go through the translations and stuff in my mind again. For some reason my brain was like, oh, so like Finnish accent plus Canadian accent is it Irish. So now my accent is like a clusterfuck of a lot of things, but I think it is kind of funny. At least it makes for like a fun, I don't know, icebreaker thing for people to like try and guess where I'm from. I've also heard a bit of people saying that I sound Australian, which I think is not the case. It might just be my mullet and like the fact that I say mate. That is the story of my accent. I sometimes like catch myself saying something in a very specific accent, and at that point it usually comes so I can't like actually turn it off. If I'm very excited about something, I will start to speak in a very like Irish-esque accent, which I'm very like fortunate for, because Irish is not the like that's a sexy accent, even though mine is like full-on Irish, but it is nice. I'm trying to make myself film more videos because I do genuinely like this, and I especially love the editing because it's so fun. So I'm probably just gonna like talk about random stuff because I do love to yap. If you like this kind of a rambly video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want, you could subscribe to my channel. You can find more of my videos there. Also the very old ones, it's been almost 10 years. Or you can watch my last one, which was here, where I vlogged myself going to Amsterdam to see the Denafel Terrible Influence tour with my friends. I will see you very soon. Okay, bye!